The invocation will be provided by Waterville Baptist Church Pastor Rodney Bice. Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Cindy Slater. Please stand.
Will you pray with me? Heavenly Father, what a joy it is to be here today, and I'm so thankful, God, for the opportunity that we have just to come before you just for a few moments. First of all, to recognize you and to acknowledge that you are the one true and living God. I ask you today, Father, to be with our commissioners as they continue to seek to do what's best for our county. Lord, the Bible tells us to pray for wisdom for those who need it, so I ask you today to give them wisdom beyond their years. Lord, discernment and knowledge and understanding as to decisions that have to be made, Lord, that would better our county and make it, Lord, even more profitable and, Lord, also even more honoring to you. So God bless these men and these women. I pray, Father, today that your Spirit would guide them in every discussion they have, and may you be glorified today through decisions that are made through our commissioners. We ask it in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Salute pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome the sheriff, and I think this is the first time he's been back in a few months, but we're welcome. And Dr. Cash, the director of schools, and Susan Wilcutt with the school system. This time we will go to the mayor for the report from the county mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, everyone. I trust everyone had a good 4th of July weekend. I've got 4 things for you today. The copies are already in front of you. I'll go over them very quickly, and if you have any questions over the next week before, but hopefully you'll put them on the agenda, and then we'll have plenty of time to answer questions. The first one is interlocal agreement on behalf of the trustee that we need to do with the city of Charleston, where he collects taxes for the city of Charleston as well as county taxes. I guess I need to stop on each one of these and ask you to please put this on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I'll put that on the agenda.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. The second one's a Kroger opioid settlement. We've had to do these 3 or 4 times already for different companies as they reach settlement with the government, but it's just a resolution that authorizes us to agree to the things in their settlement. I respectfully ask that be put on the agenda also.
That's good.
Stewart Road is the next one. This is a piece of property on Stewart Road where the developer, there's some property there that's actually in Bradley County's name, about a half acre on each side of the road or the entrance to that development up there. And if you have questions on this one, you need to refer them to Crystal. But what they're asking us to do is declare a half acre on each side of the road as surplus so that we can sell it. Possibly to the developer. More than likely, it'll be the only one that has interest in it, but it's a half acre on each side of the road. So that resolution needs to be on the agenda also.
Mr. Chairman, I'll take that one.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The next one's a little more complicated. I'll explain it, and then I think the land building committee is probably going to ask for a committee meeting later on. But we finally have what I consider to be a pretty good proposal, an agreement that we've worked out with the city on building the fire building on Menace Road. You've got a site plan in front of you. The first sheet there is a site plan showing how it would sit beside the existing fire station, showing how the bank across the back, the building committee met out there one day, and the bank across the back of the existing station will be taken straight on north of where it stops now, that same bank, and then they will bring the dirt down and slope the bank back like it is now, concrete the pad, concrete the parking lot. That site plan shows one of your requests was the concrete going around the end of the building so that we can enter in and out of the parking lot from the north end of the building. Also, this building will be lowered somewhat from the existing building that's there now, so that when the egress ingress and egress, is that right? Anyway, whatever the words are, in and out of the garage with the fire trucks won't be a problem. The building that's there now was built too high for some reason with a high slope at the front. This one, when we drop down, it'd be more level with the street. So the site plan shows you all of that. The second sheet shows you the drawing. This is, I was trying to remember how many square feet it is. It's a 80 by 120, 9,600 square feet building. They've added the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 offices like we requested. They've added a shower in the restroom like we requested. They moved the offices to the front as we requested. The conference room is now in the back corner. It's got 6 bays. We have 5 at the existing building. Those bays are 10 feet by 16, and then the building's 18 foot high. So at the end of the day, what they're offering to do is to build this building, a total, Commissioner Winters, turnkey project. I think that was your phrase. It's a total turnkey project. If you agree for them to annex, like they've annexed up to us, then they will build it totally turnkey. Why annex? Well, they're annexed behind us already. They're annexed beside of us already. Annexing us doesn't take any revenue away from us. And by doing that, it will lower our utilities 50% because they charge a different rate for inside than they do outside for water and sewer. The biggie on the annexation is we can't do a new sewer tap without it. We'll have to go around the existing building and hit the sewer tap that's on the other side of the building, which will be very costly. But by annexing this little square, they will do a new sewer tap, and they'll install the sewer and water and everything for us. The other thing about being annexed, it'll be built by city codes, which not much different, but if any difference, probably a little bit more stringent, and they'll do all the inspections. So at the end of the day, we have a 9,600 square foot building that they will build, no cost to Bradley County, be a new, nice garage with 7 offices for the chief and those people. And it'll, again, be at no cost to the county in exchange for the Inman Street location. I assume you're going to want Building and Land Committee to go over it, and I'll go over more detail then if you want me to, or I'll answer questions now.
Commissioner Thompson, you want to take that up?
Yes, sir. I'd like to call a Land and Building Committee meeting at 12 o'clock on the 11th, which is Thursday. And the mayor will be here. We'll go over the...
You say 12 o'clock Thursday?
Yeah.
And so we'll answer any questions then, but if you have any right now, I'll try to answer them. Josh, you look like you've got a question.
Yeah. No question, but that 12 o'clock time's a little bit hard on Thursday, so.
Are you on building?
Yes.
What,
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, let me ask,
Go
what
ahead.
would be a good time, Josh?
You think we could do 9? Or do you think we could do 2 that day?
Either one. That's,
If that would work for the other people on the
would that,
committee?
would you rather have it early, the land and building? We can have it at 9 o'clock.
What about 9 o'clock? Commissioner
9 o'clock.
Blake?
Mayor, you mentioned the annexation. I don't know how else to ask this. Is that a showstopper? I mean, does it have to be annexed in order for the city to agree? I understand what you said, all the pros and cons and everything. Can you hear me?
Well,
Did they indicate in your negotiations, I guess, is that a showstopper? Like, this does not happen unless they get to annex this piece of property?
well, I would respectfully ask the body as a whole to turn it down if you're against annexation. And then we can do the others, but I'm telling you, there's a tremendous cost running sewer around the building and hitting the tap on the other side of the building. I've worked diligently to get it to you at no cost to Bradley County Fire. There will be a tremendous cost. You can't do a new sewer tap outside the city. That's just the fact of life. And I
Hey,
don't understand.
You gave a good, I'm sorry, Mayor, you did an excellent job with the pros and cons. I just want to know if, like, there's any room on there. Is it a
Well,
showstopper?
they would probably do that, and you pay for all those costs, but why would we take on those costs just because of a word that somebody doesn't like? It doesn't take anything away from Bradley County. We don't pay taxes now, and we won't pay taxes then. But if it's in the city, they have to worry about the inspections, they have to worry about the codes being enforced. If it's outside the city, we gotta worry about all that. If it's outside the city, we gotta run that sewer around that building to that sewer tap. And then we continue to pay the higher water and sewer rates. So, again, I would just hope that you would put it on the agenda and vote on it. If the majority of you don't want to be annexed, then y'all come back with another option, but it's gonna have costs connected with it, where right now, it's no cost to Bradley County.
That's all I have, thank you.
Anyone else? Commissioner Ledford.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Gary, just a couple of questions. Square footage on the old building that we have now, how many square feet? Is that 14,000?
Yeah, I think so.
And this one's 9,600, is that right?
Right.
Is that gonna be a problem? Have you talked to Jeff and all the guys down there? Everybody's cool with this?
Yeah,
new
I mean,
building?
we made it a little bigger from the first time. We can't make it really any bigger on this site. You've got more bays than you have now. That's a biggie. You've got the same square footage for training. That's a big. You've got the same number of offices. That's a biggie. You do have somewhat less storage, but it's, as I said before, it's more usable storage. It's that building now, if you think about it, there's probably 50% of the equipment back in there that you can't get out without moving 50% of the equipment. Does that make sense? So this is a much, much better arranged building that you can probably store a lot more in less square footage, if that makes sense. And don't forget, folks, why I've tried so hard on this, and I know some are against it. This is not going to be a unanimous decision. But we have a very old building down there, a very old building with a hole in the parking lot. And I could go on for a long time about problems. We will have an entire new building, somewhat smaller but bigger from a lot of perspectives, 6 bays versus 5, that's very important, at no cost. I mean, we will get this built for us and exchange deeds at that point, exchange the building, I guess you would say occupancy for a deed. And again, it's up to you to decide, but I don't expect it to be unanimous. But think about it from what are we getting away from? That's a biggie. The only negative is a little bit less square footage and somebody not liking a word called annexation. This isn't a referendum annexation. This is, we would request it, and that happens all the time. But when they annex, there's a lot of times school issues to address. This doesn't send Dr. Cash any more kids. Now, the next door annexation will send her a lot more kids. That's for you all to address. But don't let those issues interfere with the thinking on this project. I knew it would be an issue with some of you, that's why I fought so hard against it, but I couldn't get away from the additional dollar cost. Will they do something else? Yes. But the cost of the sewer alone is going to be tremendous if we don't go this route. So I've presented what I felt was the best option.
Mr. Thompson, please.
I'm one of those that don't like the word annexation, but I'm ready to get this building built. We're gonna have to either do that or we're gonna have to do a lot of work down on the other building there, the construction part of it.
Right.
And I hate to spend money down there that, we don't have to. So, I would oppose annexation, but on this deal here, I won't be for all of it, but I would for this part here.
Commissioner Winters, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Mayor, I think you've done a fine job on this. I think it's a major challenge. My question is only regarding Menace Road. You know, we've got school on one end, and we've got a subdivision coming in right beside this property. And I don't have to explain about the ballpark across from it. Will the city take responsibility of the road in front of that property they got? Is that going to be a part of it?
And I agree, and I've heard that same thing from Commissioner Thompson. I think you all ought to officially request them to take in the Menace Road during this stretch. I mean, we've three-laned it. We, Bradley County, three-laned it. It would be a good road. I don't know why they would be against it, but again, don't let that interfere with this project, is all I'm saying. I think you ought to request it. That, they might would, but I couldn't get anywhere on this project by having that discussion, if that makes any sense. The apartments and more coming on the other side, those are gonna happen. And that's gonna be a school issue and somewhat of a road issue, although this section of road that you're talking about, we've already improved. It's gonna bottleneck there at the corner of this annexed property, and even if it's annexed, it's gonna be an issue right there. So if you could think of it in terms of, let's approve this project, get this project going, and you wanna request that, they might would.
I'm for the project. I think it's.
I
Commissioner Gilbert.
appreciate.
Mayor, timeline.
In the written thing, it's approximately a year. We've had this going back and forth. It'll be next summer, summerish, let's put it that way, not hold it to a day. I think on there, it may say June the 30th or July 31st, but it gives them that long to complete it, everything, and then we've got so long to get out and move.
And it's key for key, right?
Sir?
Then it's key for key.
Right. Yeah, we will have to give them the deeds to ours, and we'll get the certificate of occupancy from them. The offices, the training facility, all of that is sheetrock and painted. Again, I don't know of anything we will have to do at all in order to move in.
Thank you for your hard work.
Well, thank
Commissioner
you.
Alford, please.
Yes, Mayor, just a couple of questions. I don't see any kind of price tag on this building. Did they put any kind of price tag on how much they'd be willing to spend on this building?
No, they, in the discussions, if, again, I hope you will vote on this proposal because it's the best, but in the discussions, they have discussed giving you $500,000 for your building and just buying it. But I didn't go further with that discussion because I guarantee you I can't take $500,000 and build this building. But no, I don't know what they're going to be spending here. That's not part of the deal. It's just we're agreeing to do this.
And second question, who will be responsible for supervising the building and maintenance of the building and all that good stuff as far as what kind of material they're going to put in there and so forth?
Well, they will be doing the project. The company that builds the metal building, it's a metal building. A lot of it they will do in-house, dirt work, all that, but I don't know who they will farm out to do concrete work. But the electrical, all of it will be done by either the city or people they sub it out to. But it'll be their project. That's key too, folks. I mean, the one beside of it, you guys paid a project manager to oversee it, and you've got a fire station that anybody with any sense wouldn't have put it on that incline. I wish I had noticed it, but I was leaving it up to that project manager that was hired at the time. And this won't be like that. So there won't be, we can do our own inspections if you want to. Building and Land Committee can meet and so forth, or our building inspector can look at it, but the responsibility will be on their inspectors and all that. Building maintenance will start once we take it over, and it'll be on us, of course.
I guess that's where I'm coming from. After it's built and we take it over and something happens, who's going to be responsible to us?
Well, after we take it over, yes. I mean, they will hand us the keys to a building that has been built. At that point, it would be on us, but we would hopefully follow it through all those phases to get to that point.
Chairman.
Commissioner Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Two questions, Mayor. Will there be anytime you build a new building, build a house, build a commercial property, there's a warranty process with that? Like they will warranty the building for a year or 2 years, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to how much, but there will be the metal building warranty. There will be HVAC put in it with the warranties that come with that and so forth, yes.
So within that first year, 6 months, whatever it is, that the city will come
I guess
back
that's
and fix
probably
it.
what Commissioner Offer was referring to with the maintenance. It wouldn't be maintenance, but there would be those warranties. It will have the hang down heaters like you see in commercial metal buildings like this. The offices and everything would be wired, plugged, lights, it has lights. All of that is part of it. If you look at the drawing real closely, most of that's spelled out in that drawing. It's spelled out even more in the agreement that we would be signing at that point.
And final question is that if this body does want to request that the city take in that part of the road, would you need to have that voted on previously or just added to your current resolution, or go to them to be able to confirm that they would before we vote on this?
Either way, probably, I don't know which way would work best with them. You could add it as an add-on to the resolution that I've given you, that you approve this, if they will do that, if that's what the majority of you wanted. Or you could approve the proposal and then as the second thing, approve requesting the annexation of the road. I don't know how strong they are on the road because it's not really part of this project. And the issues you have with the road are caused by the apartments and the whatever's condos, whatever's being built next door anyway. It's not because of this project. So I don't know how they will mix the two together, if that makes sense.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Alford.
Yes, have we discussed with Fire Chief about this concept of this plan? Has he looked at it
Yes.
at all and
Yes.
approved it?
Yes. He has looked at it at all and has no issues with it. Of course, speaking for him, he probably would say bigger would be better, but I think he's okay with it. He's excited about 6 bays versus 5. The training room, the offices, all of that's exactly like he wanted, so. And he can be here next week if you want him to be too, so if you want to ask her, you're welcome to ask between now and next week.
Commissioner Hughes, please.
Commissioner Alford, in my last discussions with the chief, he said that, exactly what he said, a bigger building would be nice, but this could be made to work.
Anyone else?
I guess he's in agreement that we can get that ladder truck in and out there and up and down Menace Road without a problem?
I would think yes. I mean, with the building being flat to the road, getting it in and out won't be an issue. Driving it down Menace Road shouldn't be an issue. It's a fairly flat 3-lane road. And the road's there whether we build or not. That truck may have to go down that road tomorrow. So I don't think the road's an issue, but the building is not an issue. I know a lot of people thought it was going to be like the building next door, and it won't be. It'll be dropped down, fairly flat with the road. So that shouldn't be a problem at all.
Commissioner Hughes.
The mayor just nailed it, actually. Whenever they lowered the building, that stops the issue of it dragging, trying to pull in, so that'll eliminate that issue.
Yeah, what they had brought to your attention before was there was some assumptions made that this ladder truck, if it was in the existing building, couldn't get out. Well, tell me, the fire trucks themselves can barely get out because of an engineer and an architect and a building project manager that did it like that. This won't be like that. There will be a little bit of a slope down to the adjoining building. It won't be adjoining. There's tanks in the ground right at the north of the existing building, so I think it's 15 feet off from that building, and it'll be a slope down. It'll be dropped. If you look at the property now, on the far end of it, it's already level with the road. So there'll be some dirt have to come out there, but at the end of the day, it'll be lower than what we have there now, so the trucks can go in and out. And by doing what we did at the end of the building, if you recall, the last time I brought it to you, you couldn't go around the building. Now you can go in at the north end of the building. It'll be concreted, and you go around into the bay, and then you'll be driving out onto the road. All of that should work, and it'll all be concrete.
Anyone else for the mayor? Next.
If not, I've got one other thing, but I appreciate your consideration of that. I want to get this behind us too, and I really do think we've addressed everything that is possible except for the road annexation, and I didn't push that too hard because please understand that's an issue you have, but it's not because of this project. So hopefully it don't cause a problem with the project. The other thing I have is to refresh your memory on something. I need guidance. If you recall, September of 23, the commission voted to surplus 5.6 acres of property on New Street, the old Waterville School property. You had a buyer, you accepted the buy, and then you wouldn't rezone the property. We had a second bidder. So following the unsuccessful rezoning of the property, SPCA withdrew their bid, and the county received one other bid for a whole lot less, but at least we did receive a bid, $60,000. So I need to know if you would want to consider at your next meeting accepting that next bid, or if you don't want to accept the next bid, putting it up for bid. It's already surplus, so I just need guidance on what to do about selling it.
Building and land, can you cover that 9 o'clock Thursday also?
Yes, yes, I can. There's one thing I'd like to say, though, to that is the fact that, of course, you hate to sell land. You hate to sell, especially county land. But at some time or another, there's no reason why the fire department, and they've thought about it, I'm sure of that, to building their training center down there instead of leaving it up there on the side of the road. And I've talked to the chief about that, and that'd be a perfect place for a training center. And it's all they use is those containers with those, so you wouldn't have a problem, I think, with water or whatever down there with when you got containers sitting there. So anyway, that'd be one of my suggestions. That's all I have.
And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it.
I'd like to make sure that this is on the agenda about this fire station on Menace Road here.
Yeah, did anybody put that resolution?
Mr.
going
Chairman,
to a
I can put
committee.
that on there if you need, but I believe it's going to building and land.
Building and land's got it, that's right. All right. Okay. We'll now go to reports from the committees and our districts. We'll start on our right with Commissioner Beatty, please.
Mr. Chairman, I've arranged a tour at the cannery on August the 1st at 9 a.m. Anybody wants to tour it? Located on Peerless Road.
Okay. Commissioner Hughes, please.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add to the agenda for the July voting session, July 15th, a resolution authorizing Bradley County Attorney to prepare and file and any and all necessary legal actions in the courts of Bradley County to institute injunction, mandamus, abatement, or any other appropriate actions to prevent, enjoin, and abate the unlawful use of property located at 440 Old Power Line Road, Northeast, Cleveland, Tennessee, 37311.
Is that all, sir?
Yes.
Commissioner Alford, please.
Yes, District 2's doing okay. I did have, y'all that didn't make it the other day, the Sheriff's Department had an extremely good demonstration on the use of a glove, I guess you call it. And I would like to look into that a lot further, and I've asked them to get some prices and things, and maybe we can look at it more seriously. But it was an extremely good demonstration that would really help our officers in a hand-to-hand combat type situation, because there is no hand-to-hand combat situation if you've got one of these gloves on.
It's true. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
I will do, when we get the agenda, I'd like to do my presentation.
Oh, okay. No problem at all. Commissioner Blake, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Real quick, Mayor, on that land, is it going, like the other, when the SPCA wanted it, had to be rezoned, is the buyer gonna need it to rezone also for what?
If you go to the second buyer, and I don't know for sure if he will still honor it. I've got to know if he will still honor taking it. But I think from memory, it was to build on a house, so it wouldn't need rezoning.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Each of you have before you a hard copy of a resolution to increase the compensation for Bradley County Beer Board members to $34.83 per month meeting. This is a slight increase from $33.33, a whole whopping $1.50. Mr. Chairman, I place this resolution on the July 15th voting session.
Done.
Next, Mr. Chairman, I also place on the July 15th voting session agenda resolution increasing the fee of constables is entitled to demand to execute a writ of possession in Bradley County to $85 pursuant to authority set forth in Tennessee Code 8-21-901, subsection D. Before you again is a copy of the resolution. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Collins, please.
All is well in District 3. Thank you.
Commissioner Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we should all do introductions because it's been so long since we've been able to sit like this. But it's great to be back and be a part of this group. I have several hats I wear, and one is being legislative chair. And I'd like to invite you as commissioners to a July 12th noon meeting right here at the courthouse. Mr. Chairman, the State of Tennessee General Assembly passed in both houses a joint resolution 803 calling the state of Tennessee into a time of prayer and fasting for the month of July. This resolution seeks God's hand of mercy and healing on Tennessee. On July 12th at noon, on the front steps of this courthouse, there will be a reading of the resolution, and I invite each of you to attend. I'll be attending as well. I welcome my colleagues to join in reading this resolution. There are up to 14 plus whereases on this. We would have an opportunity to participate together. Some of you may choose to do this, some of you may not. You're not required to do this, and it's not a formal role for you as whatever committee you're on to be there. But if you would like to be there and you would like to read a portion, I will be doing that. Please give your name to our administrative assistant, and if you want to look at that resolution, it's in our packets. You can see it. If there's one you really would like to speak to and say yourself, you can let her know that. But the gentleman that contacted me would need to know, I think, by Thursday. It will be done on Friday. So this is a resolution from the governor of Tennessee. I think it's really appropriate. Another hat I have is the 7th District, and 3 members of a close-knit leadership group for me as a county commissioner passed away this week. Ron Gilbert, Lee University, professor emeritus, a great professor, a genius, a humorist, a great guy. Was at school when I was at school at Lee. Been a great friend of mine. Passed away with a terrible bout of cancer that he held with dignity and respect and joy even for that journey. And I was at his funeral. Lenny Lamagna. Lenny Lamagna is a New Yorker. He came from outside of Boston. I met him the first day at church at Westmore. Lenny was glad to be a Tennessean, loved to be here. The greatest thing that I ever did for him was get a New York Yankee hat and bring it from New York to Lenny. And he talked about it to his family. Can you believe this Southerner went to my city and brought a hat from New York to me? Finally, Max Morris. Max Morris was a pastor for Cleveland, Tennessee, Bradley County, and the whole world. On July 4th, for almost 25 years, he would be meeting at the, thank you. I have 5 minutes. You'd be meeting at Cleveland High School and be celebrating the 4th with him. And he passed. We tried to drive from Alabama to get there on time and missed his funeral. But I need to recognize those people had signs in their yard from my name, and I appreciate them. As I came driving in here, a song on the radio said, love the people that God gave you. Love the people that God gives you, because someday you'll call them back. And I will remember those folks greatly. Let me say one other thing here since I've got the mic. While I'm out of town watching my grandboys play in a World Series, I'd spent an entire year working with the finest finance chairman you would ever find on this county budget. I sat there, I said yay and nay as I needed to for that period of time. On that particular Friday was a rescheduled time because we were trying to make a deadline. All of us worked on that budget. All of us did the things. 5 of us had to be out of town. No way I could miss this. This had been planned for months. Some of my colleagues had other things planned for months. This is on Facebook. This Where were those 5 people? Let me tell you where I was. For an entire year, I worked with a fine mayor we have here, our finance committee, finance chair, to work on that budget. I wish I could say I knew everything about the budget. I did not know everything about it, but I was ready to vote for that. We were ready to vote for that as well. We could not be here that particular day. And there are people on Facebook saying, where are you? Well, folks, I can tell you where I was. All of us have lives. We have families. We have commitments. We have faith. We have life that we live. And for somebody to go on Facebook and send it around, and people say, well, you've been really heated up on the social media part. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to say anything more. But I want to say here, we all have lives. And many times, some of us over here, my time's moving on. My time is moving on. I realize I've got to spend time with my family too at the same time. And I don't take pause for that. I don't ask forgiveness for that. And for those that are beating my fellow commissioners, take what I'm saying here. They had things they had to do too. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Gilbert, please.
Yes, I'd just like to say thank you for all the prayers. I've torn my meniscus and my hamstring. And man, you're talking about painful. I'd never have experienced anything like that. And I was in the recliner for a couple of weeks. And Coach Jackson's here today, and I just want to recognize him. He was probably one of the best teachers, mentors. I love you, Coach Jackson. I appreciate everything you did for me as a young man. And but thank you for being here. I just want to say one thing. I watched the meeting too last week, and I am for the Second Amendment. I watched, read in the paper that one of Representative Raper had said that he had spoke to some county commissioners about voting no on the gun bill. And I never have spoke to anybody about voting no on the gun bill. I am 100% for the Second Amendment. And I just wanted to come out and say that. But I appreciate everything everybody does, all their hard work, but I am a Second Amendment person. Thank you.
Commissioner Thompson.
Mr. Chairman, Brother Bill, first of all, I wouldn't worry about that social media. I'd do what I wanted to do. And everybody will understand. But another thing, too, I meant to tell Mr. Alford, I'm sorry I missed your demonstration down at the sheriff's office the other day, but I'm on that committee, but I missed it. But I was out helping Bobby County's firework money. So if anybody wanted to borrow any today, well, he had plenty of it. And so we wanted to get the balance on it so we could loan it out. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Goins, please.
Fifth District's doing well, except for if we could ever get the city to pave Wildwood. If you've ever been down Wildwood, you know what I'm talking about. And that's all I have.
Commissioner Slater.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have nothing to report today.
Commissioner Mason.
Thank you, Chairman. 6th District's doing well. I have called a road committee. We'll meet at 9 a.m. July the 31st here in the commission room. That's all I have.
Commissioner Ledford, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have just one item. Had a real good friend at the hospital. He's Dr. Wayne Kelly. I don't know if y'all knew him. He was a pediatrician. He passed away Saturday morning, I think. And I'd just like for everyone to remember him in prayer. He was a great guy. He come through the OR as a young boy when he was going to school, and I actually put him through the ringer quite well, as they always had to rotate through the OR. Several of the doctors did, and of course they never liked me very much. But anyway, other than that, Mr. Chairman, well, I do want to mention Miss Gleason sent us all an email. I think everyone needs to watch that. That was a pretty good email. It was a good email to watch about the Constitution and the law enforcement, their obligations, law enforcement. It was really good. I watched it this morning earlier. It was good. But other than that, Mr. Chairman, 6th District is doing well. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Rogers, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 7th District is doing well, and I am also happy to be back in the 7th District and back here with you guys as well. Last week, I got to attend the demonstration at the Sheriff's Department, and if you haven't seen it, it really is a very cool device. I mean, it would be something very great for our corrections officers to be able to help inside the jail, and I was very happy to be able to attend that demonstration at the Sheriff's Department. Last week, Dr. Steve Hartline passed away, and I know Commissioner Goins was a pallbearer there, and Dr. Hartline's son is one of my best friends. Unfortunate to have to say that, but the funeral was last week, so I would just ask if you would keep the family in your thoughts and prayers. He had two sons and a stepson, and I know that he is very, very dearly missed by many. On your packet here, there is an upcoming event. I spoke with Chamber of Commerce this morning, but tomorrow at 9 a.m. is the Chamber Coffee, and I know we always get those things, but tomorrow City Fields is hosting that event. So if you would, please try and attend that event. I think it would be good to be there to show our support with City Fields. And I wasn't going to say this, and I was just going to keep it to myself. But since Commissioner Winters decided to speak up about it today, I will say something very briefly. I too did get sent the social media post, and many things get posted on the internet all the time. And I think when you're up here, you kind of have to have a little bit of a thick skin and let a lot of stuff just roll off your back and not take too much to it. But I do want to provide some context because they asked for it. But my family and I were on a trip following my daughter's dance competitions where proudly won many national championships. One of the few opportunities that we have each year is to travel together. As a father and a husband, my family is my top priority. I believe it's crucial to be able to balance my responsibilities as a commissioner, as a business person in this community, and also as a father, and my duties at home. Had the meeting not been rescheduled from July 1st, I would have been present for the vote. I understand the importance of the budget. I took my responsibility seriously as I attended finance committee meetings leading up to the budget vote while I'm not on finance. We had an EMS meeting as well that we were able to add more scholarships to, and whether it was collaborating with the mayor, incorporating items from EMS, or working with commissioners here throughout the year to be able to get the things we needed to get to be able to pass a budget. I just want people to know, especially in the 7th District, that my commitment to serving Bradley County still remains strong, and I am dedicated to being present for future meetings and for future votes. And I thank you for your understanding and continued support, even though I wasn't able to be present at that meeting for being with my children and my wife. Thank you.
Thank you. We had no agenda items, but we're going to pick up here with Commissioner Alford for his presentation.
First of all, I clarify a few things. This presentation is no reflection on the school board or Ms. Cash or the commission or anyone else. I look at this as an information for the commission to look at. You remember the other day we voted a resolution that we'll spend $14 million on Hopewell and so forth, and then very last sentence on that was the fact that the commission would build a track. And so, first of all, I'd like to compliment our school board and school system, because if you think about it, we have got two really, really good schools. I'm talking about first class academically and athletically. So for a few minutes, I just want to reflect a few things about athletics. Of course, I'm athletic minded, so that's where I'm going to come from. Our schools, both Bradley and Walker Valley, had tremendous accomplishments this year in their athletic fields. And we'll start off with baseball, for example. Now, Walker Valley didn't have the best baseball team this year that they normally do, but this is a picture, very blurry. You have to forgive my photography. Go to the next one, please. This is Bradley's. Bradley High School was district and regional champ, sub-state, and they were elected in the Elite Eight. this year in baseball. And if you haven't been out there and saw their baseball field, I would put it up against any minor league park in the nation. It's immaculate, and you can look at it there. It doesn't do it justice, but I've not seen many golf courses that look any better. So that's a thing that I'm proud of Bradley High School's baseball. And of course, Walker Valley's had good teams in the past. They just were down this year. Go ahead, next one. This is the soccer complex. This is Bradley soccer field. Bradley soccer field, their girls, Bradley High School's girls ended up district runner-up this year. And go to the next one. Walker Valley's is there. They ended up with their boys and girls were district champions, regional champions, and state tournament. And go to the next one, please. This is the nice new tennis courts that the school board built for them a couple of years ago. This is Walker Valley. Walker Valley's boys ended up district champ, regional runner-up, and girls qualified for the state. And this is Bradley's new complex, a wonderful-looking facility that was built a couple of years ago. And the boys' team, tennis team, was district runner-up. Go to the next one, please. This is the girls' softball, best I could get anyway. Our girls, Bradley High School girls, ended up district champions. First time ever they were district champions. This is their complex. And if you can see, it's very, very nice. Very good infield, very good outfield. Walker Valley's, I didn't get a picture of theirs, but theirs looks very similar. So they had a good year. Walker Valley's girls were district runner-up, regional champs, and state qualifiers. So you can see as we're going through some of the athletes that we have at Bradley and Walker Valley. Go to the next one, please. This is Bradley High School practice field, football practice field. As you can see, it's very neat. And look at the building. Next, go to the next one, please. This is a weightlifting training facility for the high school football team. And I think I forget how many years it's over there, but you got all kind of weights in there and indoor facility that they can actually practice in there if they needed to real bad. Go to the next one, please. This is Bradley High School's football field. As you can tell, this is a wonderful facility. It's probably the top, if not one of the best facilities in the state of Tennessee as far as being able to watch a football game. And if you remember, Bradley High School's football team ended up in the semifinals this year with a 13-1 record. Go to the next one, please. This is Walker Valley's field. As you can tell, wonderful, beautiful place. They ended up with 11-3 in state semifinals also. So you can see our athletes are doing extremely well, and look at their nice facilities that the school board presented to them. Go to the next one, please. That's another picture of Walker Valley, and you can see their track and everything. Go ahead. Now, we get to the other side of the coin. This is Bradley's track seating. Next one, please. This is their shot put area. Next one, please. This is discus picture of the track. Next one, please. This is the track itself. Note the cracks and everything in the asphalt or semi-asphalt. It's not much of anything anymore, but you can see the cracks in the asphalt. Go to the next one, please. There's some close-ups of the track and all the cracks in it and everything. Some of the equipment. This is a picture of the hurdle, Bradley High School track hurdle. And it's just a picture of the infield at the track facilities, for example. Next one. This is a runway from nowhere, I guess. It's a runway for the broad jump, and as you can see, it's covered over with grass and everything. Go to the next one, please. High jump pit. Note the cracks in the asphalt, grass growing up everywhere you look. Next one, please. And some more cracks in the asphalt around the track. This is their storage building. It's got a hole in the roof, from what I understand. It's been there since the track was built, probably. It's probably been there 20 years at least, or 25 years maybe. We get back to this one. All right. this is what we could have. See, this track is, if you look at that, it's just almost exactly what we could do at the track facility we got at Bradley High School, or the space, you might say. So you can see what a real decent track would look like if we had one. Currently, I did some background work and looked at it and talked to people that build tracks. They feel like we could have that track right there for around $2 million, give or take. If you wait 25, your cost would be $2,400,000. Now, I talked to several track people. They said it probably track or asphalt and inflation and everything is going to go up 20 to 25% every year if you wait. So if we waited to 25, it's going to cost us $2,400,000. We went 26, it'd be $2,880,000. 2027 would be $3,456,000. If we wait to 28, $4,147,000. So you can see it's kind of like, I look at it like a Band-Aid. We can either pull it off quick, where it don't hurt but a few minutes, or we can pull it off real slow and it hurt for a long time. So we're looking at spending a ton of money if we wait around. And I'm not encouraging, it's up to the commission, but the can got kicked down the road. It's been kicked down the road for probably 10 years. And I started bringing a can and put there for you, Chairman, so that people could look at a can. The can ended up, this is the last place it can go. It's in our hands, commissioners. It can't go any further. There's nowhere. We voted to build a track on your last resolution. So that's what we need to do if you're looking at it. I just wanted to run through some other sports real quick. Bradley High School's golf team, this is just some of the sports that I don't have pictures of. Golf, boys qualified for the state. Volleyball, district champs, regional runner-up. Bowling, girls were district and regional champs, sub-state qualifier for the state. Girls basketball, state champions. Boys, district and regional champions, sub-state. Wrestling, qualified, I think it was 6, but I'm not sure. 1 placed in the state. Walker Valley, other sports. Golf, 1 boy qualified for the state. Bowling, boys district and region champs. Basketball, district and regional champs. Girls, district runner-up. Wrestling, 6 qualified for the state. So if you look at our athletic programs at these 2 schools, it's astronomical. If you go around the state of Tennessee, some of you go out and visit other schools occasionally, I hope. You ask them about Bradley High School. Most of them will know Bradley High School for their sports, although the academics are really good too. But when you talk about sports, it's synonymous with our basketball, our football, and our baseball, and our other sports are really becoming very popular also. So I'm going to leave that with you. Just some facts that I think we need to look at and talk about. And if you have, and I asked Mr. Jackson if he could. Mr. Jackson, would you come up here, please? I asked Turner Jackson. Y'all don't, probably, most of you probably don't even know Mr. Jackson. He's been the athletic director at Bradley for quite a few years. I'll tell one quick one on him, and then I'll let him do the talking. I think Mr. Jackson, I think you were an All-American at UTC, weren't you?
I think I was, as
Yeah.
best I remember.
In other words, he was an All-American wrestler at UTC. And I was coaching at Bradley in 72 or 3, and we had lost a really good football player to Cleveland. And because they had a real good wrestling program. And I said, this ain't going to happen again. So that's when we went out and we hired Mr. Jackson to be our wrestling coach. Now, if you know anything about Bradley's wrestling, it's synonymous. How many state champions?
26.
26 state champions. It all started with Turner
No,
Jackson.
I got out of the way, Louis, and let somebody that knew what they were doing coach. Those 26 state championships were
I
Steve
understand. You
Logg's.
didn't do them all. You didn't let me finish. But Mr. Jackson one got it all started. I don't know how many he won when he was coaching, but then Coach Logston took over and won a bunch too.
Like I said, I got out of the way and turned it over to my first state champ, and he took over.
But I asked Mr. Jackson to be here today. I know we talked about the Lee College track at why don't you go over to Lee College and practice over there, Bradley's track team? And I wanted him to explain what the problem was, that if you want to go to Lee, go ahead to.
Well, Lee College is booked. I mean, we have a huge meet. Coach Frazier has a real big meet over there, and we work really hard to get that one date. That facility is used by a bunch of different teams, not just their track team, soccer team. It's very difficult to get that. So I think, Coach, we've had that meet every year. Did we miss it one year? It's so crowded. It's amazing how much that facility is used. It's a beautiful facility, and we have a hard time getting that for our big meet that Coach Frazier has and tries to raise money for his track program. So it's very difficult to get that. That's what I'm trying to get across.
And it would be very hard to schedule practices and everything. I guess
It's almost impossible to practice over there. Now they do let us come over. They've been really nice. They let us come over there. If you haven't seen their facility, it's unbelievable. It's as good as any SEC facility. Our pole vaulters go over there occasionally and stuff like that. Yeah, they've been wonderful to us.
Any questions for Mr. Jackson? Anybody, Mr.?
Thank you, Commissioner Alford. Coach, couple questions for you. This track that's getting proposed to get built, whether it's now, later, track athletes aren't the only ones who would use this. Is that correct?
No, our cross country, all of our sports that like to run to get in shape use that too.
Yeah.
We were hoping, we think we're going. I know we're doing girls lacrosse this year. It's an official sport in the TSSAA. I think we're going to do 7-on-7 girls football. Those are two things that are going to start. We've added 2 more sports, so we have to have a place to practice. Is what I'm trying to say. So that would help with that too. That infield.
I work on Keith Street, and there are many times, especially during the summer, that I will see children running down the road. Now they're on the sidewalk, but they have their path. They'll run. And sometimes you'll follow to see where they're coming from, right? They'll come from Bradley. They'll run down to the post office, and they'll come back, and they're training.
That's probably cross country.
But would this not be something that they could be able to be used that
would? A bunch of different sports could use this facility, especially the infield and stuff. You have to work out the timing and the seasons, but it's going to help more than just track people.
And what about, do you guys still have PE classes at school? And so is this facility, track, and an area something that all students who take physical education would be able to be used?
I would think that we would. We've certainly used the football field. The turf has been wonderful. We've used that for physical education. It's so nice.
I just was curious if it, I don't know how many kids are on your track team, if it's 25 or 100 or 150.
It varies. Track is, when they get a driver's license, they don't want to run anymore sometimes. But Coach Frazier's had as many as what, Coach? Yeah.
But just in my curiosity, is this something that could be used eventually by every student at Bradley Central?
Like I said, we're adding 2 sports, and we've got to find a place for those people to practice and play. Yeah, matter of fact, our band is moving from the football parking lot to our track. They're going on the track in the infield. So that's going to help because they go from 4th period to 5:30 every day. Yeah, and when we have a JV football game, it's kind of tough. So yes, a lot of people would use this facility, not just track.
Thanks,
I appreciate you bringing that up.
Commissioner Gilbert.
Will this be turf too?
I don't know about that. That turf's pretty expensive. I don't know.
Because I know it's pretty durable. Is that, Coach, is that turf? That price?
No, that's grass. I'd say that's grass. And the one I looked at or talked to a guy about, they would put in this not artificial, but turf, one of the high-class turf, Bermuda grass. They put irrigation system in it with it. And, you're looking at turf in that big old area would be gigantic cost.
Probably 600,000.
$600,000 or $700,000
Yeah.
at least.
That's not cheap.
Good dirt.
Commissioner Thompson, please.
Commissioner Alford, we can talk about this thing all day, but have you got anything coming forward, a vote or anything like that? Suggestion or vote?
My suggestion that we put it to finance and see if we could come up with some money. That would be my suggestion. Because like I said before, you look at the figures up there.
Well, we can sit here and talk all day. If we don't do nothing, well, it's gonna be just like it is.
Hey, I'm just presenting you the facts. But I would like to take it up and see if there's any way we could do something.
We'll let Commissioner Blake and Finance keep it on their agenda down the road here.
And you said 600,000 more for
I
turf?
would guess, I mean, I think our football field was around, Dr. Cash, 700,000? Yeah,
And this is-
700.
It's probably,
I'm just guessing.
it's probably a bigger.
I would go with
bigger
turf
area.
if I could.
Turf would be
I mean,
nice. Very
that's a
durable.
no-brainer. You could make more, you could have more tournaments and everything there, and you won't be, if it rains, they're right back to playing, ain't they, Coach?
Yes.
So, we're gonna do it. Do
I
it right.
think we'll let Finance worry about where the money's coming from. Finance and the mayor can worry about that then. Any other questions? Commissioner Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Coach, when we ran cross-country, I ran cross-country for you in 1980. Do you still have the little trail behind
Oh, you know, we don't. We,
the...
the Stansberry property back there?
Yes.
We do not use that very often.
That was gruesome because of the ups and downs, and I don't know what all, but anyway.
Plus, you were
I just
carrying,
wanted to
you were
ask.
carrying 10-pound weights, too, I think.
Well, I don't know what you done to us, but I didn't last long.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Winters.
Coach, I remember when Principal Hughes went to get you, and you were the star, and it was tough.
I
It was tough
I
getting.
thought Louis cared about wrestling. All he cared about was football.
He got football. But congratulations on your career. You've just done a super job for Bradley.
I haven't been fired, have I?
No, not yet. No. But we appreciate what you've done.
I'm on a 100-day contract, so I never know. I could
No.
be gone tomorrow.
It would be interesting to look at the alumni that you have that have been in the track program. I know Eddie is a product of that program that started Bradley Jr. with Coach Lewis. I know in his DNA is that what it could be at Bradley. So y'all are a great team, and I know you've been able to do a lot with alumni in the past with baseball and with other sports. Maybe we could work together with the county commission, school board, and you all in making this happen. I think all of us would love to have that. It's just how we can do that. But thank you for what you've done for Bradley County in general and your team there. I know Keith worked with me, and Eddie worked with me years ago, and I appreciate your team, and we'll do all we can.
Well, thank you.
And we appreciate you.
Commissioner Alford, go ahead, sir.
Just ended up with thanking Mr. Jackson, and because he has done a wonderful job for Bradley High School over the years. Like I said, finance can take it up if they want to, and we look at it. But he said, I remember just what I just got through saying a while ago. Remember the old Band-Aid. You can do it in that quickly, and it hurts just for a minute, or you can do it slowly, and it hurts for a long time. So that's all I got to say. And I think we're overlooking two schools, actually, that's got wonderful, wonderful, wonderful facilities and athletes. So you can look at Bradley High School and Walker Valley every year. They're going to have people in the state tournaments and everything. They don't get quite the recognition. Some of the sports don't, as others do. But you look at all the sports, I bet you there's not many schools in the whole state that would compare with Bradley Walker Valley as far as athletes participating and winning different things. I thank you for your time, our chairman.
Thank you very much. We'll now move to communication from the audience. I will recognize and allow 5 minutes to anyone wishing to speak. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak? There be no one wanting to speak. Upcoming events, Chamber Connect Coffee, July the 9th at 9 a.m., Chamber of Commerce. Meet and greet, drop in with Cleveland State President Dr. Andrew White, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. at the Chamber of Commerce. Growth Plan Coordinating Committee, July the 11th at 4 p.m., Chamber of Commerce. Law and Order on the basketball courts, July the 12th at 7 p.m., Bradley Central High Gym. 9 a.m. Thursday, Building and Land Committee, 9 a.m. Road Committee, I believe July the 31st, was that correct? Okay. Huh? 11 o'clock Friday is resolution here at the courthouse. And based on that, we are adjourned.